Barack Obama's bored. Michelle's outshining him. She's a big Netflix star, best-selling author, and now she's a fruit juice tycoon. And he's just left starved for attention, just the way Michelle likes it.
We had your wife Michelle on the show, and she had mentioned that for about 10 years of the marriage, she really didn't like you.
Oh, man.
So asking for a friend, how do you get back in good graces? Again, for a friend. You got a pen so I can take notes?
Let me just say this. It sure helps to be out of the White House. And to have a little more time with her.
So Michelle didn't like Barack for 10 years? Well, join the club. We didn't like him for 8. So Michelle hated being first lady, always in the shadow of the president. But now she's in charge, and she's only letting Obama out of the house to do one thing: cry about Fox.
What about this country keeps you up at night?
The thing that I'm most worried about is the degree to which we now have a divided conversation, in part because we have a divided media. When I was coming up, you had 3 TV stations.
Yeah.
And people were getting a similar sense of what is true and what isn't, what was real and what was not. Today, what I'm most concerned about is the fact that because of the splintering of the media, we almost occupy different realities. Now, people will say, well, that didn't happen, or I don't believe that.
This is what keeps you up at night. Not China, not fentanyl, not dirty nukes. Jesse Watters Primetime keeps Obama up at night. Barry probably didn't like the fact that I reported on his wife's sugary fruit juice. Tasted like watered-down Mott's apple juice. But seriously, Barack Obama can't sleep at night because he doesn't control every single media outlet. He's mad the CIA can't spoon-feed lies to the 3 big networks anymore. Obama's not getting his beauty rest because the American voters actually have access to more information. They can read the full Durham report without someone else in the other media filtering it for them. Barack's right about one thing, though. The conversation has changed. Now we can finally have a conversation. If it wasn't for the small sliver of conservative media, half the country would have no one to represent them. Fox might be the only thing stopping the Democrats from winning every presidential election going forward. And that's why Obama's never liked Fox. Every other outlet slobbered all over him. Sure, he was the first black president. That's great. Then what? We're just supposed to let him lie because he shatters? We're supposed to just ignore that he's corrupt? No. The guy bailed out the banks, never stood up to China, and gave us ISIS. He raised my taxes. That's okay. I got a couple raises during his 2 terms. But all we did was tell the truth. And for telling the truth, Obama constantly snubbed us. Remember how we used to ignore our reporters' questions during the briefings? He even spied on one of our journalists. And then he says, we're the bad guys.
Problem is we got all these filters. And look, if I watched Fox News, I wouldn't vote for me either, right? Because, you know, you've got this screen, this funhouse mirror through which people are receiving information.
Those who watch Fox News and those who read the New York Times occupy completely different realities. I mean, if I watched Fox News, I wouldn't vote for me.
There wasn't the filter that had been created by Fox News or the media infrastructure, the sort of right-wing conspiracy theory, folks.
Kellyanne Conway is a former counselor to the president and a Fox News contributor. Wait, my presidency would be fantastic if it wasn't for Fox. That's what he's saying. Why is he saying that?
Oh, I thought you meant your presidency. We can't wait for that.
Get ready.
Yes, we'll wear green every day. So this is the man who gave us hope and change, and now he's just moan and groan. This actually was resplendent in the 2022 campaign cycle, Jesse, where they brought out Barack Obama as the big gun. He went and campaigned everywhere. But the guy who said, yes, we can, hope you can, believe in, change you can do together, he was out there wagging his finger at us, scolding, screaming, shouting at us, shaming us. Democracy's on the ballot. He said kindness is on the ballot, civility is on the ballot. Yes, I went to kindergarten myself. But inflation's on the ballot, education, crime, all these things that he's ignoring. If I were he, what would keep me up at night is not Fox News, although thanks for watching, Mr. President. What would keep me up at night is that my beloved Chicago has a fentanyl crisis. The people there are upset that the migrants are taking the resources. There was a new study out. Most Chicagoans have witnessed a shooting by the age of 40. And the list goes on
He
and
doesn't
on.
even ever talk
Fentanyl
about
is killing-
Chicago.
Fentanyl is killing African Americans at the highest clip, more than white Americans and Hispanic Americans. He doesn't talk about any of this. In fact, I think when Nate asked the question, it looked like it was the first time he had thought of that in a very long time. Like, what keeps you up at night? He's like, what do I say? Do I say things that keep all of us in our 60s up, or do I go for something like Fox?
Right, he's always targeting Fox. That's
It's
the
weird, though.
strategy.
He's got it bad.
What
It's
is
weird.
with the obsession? Because it's an obsession. He was obsessed during his presidency, and he's still talking about us after his presidency's over. Is it Michelle with the remote? Is that the issue?
You know, I once said to Robert Gibbs and his press secretary, we were on a panel together at Smithsonian during the Obama administration. I had my last baby a couple days before, and I said to him, I know it was November 2009, and I said, you're the White House. Go find Osama bin Laden. In other words, you're obsessed with Fox News. It was just weird. That was then. It's also that I think Obama worries about his legacy because Biden's president. And he should be worried about it because Trump had a higher growth rate, more energy independence, these trade deals. You know, the Trump record on Iran and Israel, so much better, staring down Putin, containing Kim Jong-un. And he's worried about that, one. And he's worried about, two, that his first decision was to pick a running mate, and he picked Joe Biden. We're still stuck with him. He's the guy who said, Joe, you don't need to do this, don't run. But now that Joe Biden has run, and he's got Kamala Harris on the ticket, I think that's a rescue and recovery mission in 2024 that maybe even Barack Obama cannot steer to success. Ooh. So he's got to worry about that. Not only did Biden give us Harris, but Obama gave us Biden. And you know what really struck me? Biden, when he became president, said it was the first, he had only been in the East Wing one time in like the reception areas. That was like Tuesday for those of us who worked in the Trump administration. The Obamas didn't even invite the Bidens to
and now
dinner.
we're hearing Biden never even has lunch with Kamala.
Yeah, and
It's
that's why
the same
Michelle
deal.
Obama will never run. By the way, where is the Barack and Michelle Obama Center for Women and Girls? It doesn't exist. Like, what is the legacy that they're doing with all that money
It's fruit
now?
juice, Kellyanne. She's a fruit juice tycoon. Tough, tastes terrible, and it's bad for you. Kellyanne Conway, thank you so much.
Thank you, and thanks for watching President Obama.
Thank you, Barack.
We appreciate it at Fox.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.